Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing with Dan Reichert and Billy Doc Niles. Today's program is brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue on Highway 16 West Salem and downtown La Crosse. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists on La Crosse's north side. By JT's Long Shots Bar and Grill in historic downtown West Salem. By Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona. Pizza Hut. Now here's Dan with this week's show.
Hi, race fans. Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing here at KQEG TV. I'm Dan Reichert along with my co-host Billy Doc Niles. Just don't look at the shirt today. You notice Paul Reichert and I are representing the radio show and we're representing the TV show, and Niles is out there in left field someplace.
Yeah, Niles left his TV and radio shirt at home. My apologies. Sorry, it'll be better next week.
So when fansarena.com, Al Losi, gets his TV shirts, we're going to staple it to Billy's back on Tuesdays and Wednesdays when we start doing the show.
Yeah, it's I had it sitting out this morning, and I got it all clean, ironed up, ready to go, folded up nice and neat, still sitting on the table where I set it.
Madison International Speedway is where Paul and I were just at last Sunday, and probably one of the best Super Late Model races I have seen in quite a long time. Paul, I bet you echo those sentiments. I was in turn 4 eating the pound-and-a-half pretzel.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
You were in turn 1.
Yes, I was. It was quite a day out there in Madison. Great race for the ARCA Midwest Tour to kick off the season. Just a perfect day weather-wise, so can't complain.
Now, Bill wasn't there because he was sleeping off a beer brewery tour with his wife, and that ball and chain is still back there someplace.
Yeah, but the beer and the burgers were great, man. Sorry.
And I did. I actually polished off the pound-and-a-half salted pretzel with 2 cheese cups and 2 mustard cups at MIS.
If you haven't seen a picture of this thing, it is so huge. It was in a pizza box. It was incredible.
It was huge, and it was so tasty. I told Mrs. McCarn she should frame one of those for me and autograph it so I can hang it up here in the studio.
Yeah, the first one to kill the pound-and-a-half pretzel by himself.
Oh, man, that thing was good. So was the racing. We're going to start things out with the Mid-Am Series, and Danny Gilster, who had qualified fastest there, found himself having a little bit of problems, kind of lagged beyond for the first 3 quarters of the race. Got as high as 3rd, but I tell you what, Bill, the Franklin Flyer Preetzel really took care of things. Bill, I'm not sure if you saw the video or not, but that man was just simply on a rail.
Oh, Preetzel's pretty good down in them tracks in the southern area. That's where he comes from, and it doesn't surprise me to see his name up front. We talked about Gilster last week, where he's starting. He's been running the series for the last 3 years. He's starting to figure these tracks out. Fast time, second at Rockford, fast time at Madison. He's getting this stuff figured out. He's definitely going to be a championship contender.
Midwest trucks were also on spot. They had 19 trucks. Regan May made her official debut. She did run the following last year at Dells Raceway Park. She did a pretty good job learning how to run that truck that she's going to be running full-time this year, and her super late model, which she'll be getting into a couple of times. Kevin Canese ends up winning the race, followed by James Swan, Kelly Byers, Mike Corver, and Mike Egan. Kelly Byers?
Yeah, I mean, he's been a crew chief, and now he's got a fabrication business, I guess, around
KBR.
Here. Yep, and he kind of struggled throughout the day. He had trouble in qualifying, had trouble in his heat race, but feature time, man, he was completely different. Ended up coming home 3rd in that race.
He was slowly picking off trucks as the afternoon progressed. We're going to run some video right now. These are the last couple laps of the ARCA Midwest Tour race. I had Dennis Prunty going in winning this race, and of course Dennis had some mid-race problems. The hood went up once he was back in the live pit stalls, and he was done. But in the parking lot, I said that Andrew Morrissey was my dark horse. And I said Ty Majeski and Danny Frederickson had to play in the mix someplace. So 3 of the 4 names that I had mentioned, as you watch these guys, this was my cell phone video, and I learned from our producer, Jesse, that if I'm going to tape races, don't do it like this for TV, do it like this, because then it takes up the whole screen.
So, yeah, there's your lesson today, kids. Formatting for TV the long way.
Andrew Morrissey was steadily. Rich Bickle Jr., I think when he passed Danny Frederickson with about 20 laps to go, I think the roof was going to blow off of Madison. Did you hear the crowd's reaction?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I did. He really came on in the late going there, and he kind of struggled throughout the first half of the race, but then he really really became a player in the second half. Ended up finishing 5th, and that was a good showing for him.
And then about 10 to go, as you see Andrew Morrissey, everyone just followed. It was Morrissey, Fredrickson. Ty Majeski had some problems through this one as well, and he was sitting 14th for pretty much most of this race. He did lead quite a bit of the very first part of the race when the live pit stop started. There was something with the tire program, I think he had told me, and he was struggling mightily to stay at a 13th and 14th place through this one. But in the end, it was Andrew Morrissey holding off Dan Fredrickson and Ty Majeski, who I think if there had been another 5 or 10 laps in that race, may have had something for Fredrickson. Bill, I don't know if you heard this or not. I was standing there on the front straightaway at Madison when Andrew Morrissey got out of his car. And as he's being interviewed by their track announcer, I'm standing there with my microphone in hand, and it was a very emotional time. Andrew Morrissey almost started into tears, not even 10 seconds into his interview on the front straightaway. They had a big friend of the family pass away, and Andrew pulled a baggie out of his pocket, and he promised his wife that his friend's ashes would ride with him, and there they were. And not only did he struggle emotionally was to get through that interview, when we had a one-on-one with him later on the racetrack, he had struggled again. One of the best pictures of the entire day, Andrew in front of his car with his entire teammates behind the car, his whole pit crew, and that baggie right there on the hood.
And we've seen this before with race car drivers and people associated with racing. Someone close passes on, and it's an emotional. You want to win a race for them. You want to go out and show some respect for them. Morrissey did that on Sunday. We saw that with Brett Kane up in the cities last year. That team lost a close friend, and when we did an interview with Nate, how he struggled to get through that interview. You want to go out and win for someone close to you, and what a great job by Morrissey to go out and do that.
And a nice job by Greg McCarnes, the entire MIS staff, for putting on a fantastic show. Now let's bounce to Dells Raceway Park. We saw Jason Stark. He'd been a long-time driver, along with the Bolster family at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Built a brand-new sportsman car to run at Dells Raceway Park this year. And when you can beat Dave Trout, that says something right off the bat. How about if you beat, as a rookie, Dave Trout, Mitch Leiden, and Scott Luck? Let's roll this videotape right here. Last couple of laps of this one right here. Billy, you've ran the Dells before in a sportsman car. You talk about hustling. Jason Stark had to run the outside rail from his last 7 laps, door to door with Leiden.
Well, that is the impressive part. Number one, he's a rookie. It's only his second actual live race on that track, because he ran the icebreaker just about a month ago. To watch him run the outside, you'd have thought he was a seasoned veteran. Just impressive. He just kept picking away, got about a half a car lead on him, and then you'll see what happens on the last lap coming out of turn 4. I don't think he needed that help, but it didn't hurt to have it. And you knew Scott Luck was in the right place because you thought something was going to happen on the last lap. It did, but not to the extent where his last 2 races where he picked up the win. So great job by Jason Stark for someone who's never raced that track before. A flat-out rookie on that track. He's going to be someone to contend with there.
So again, it was Jason Stark topping the 2016 Dells Sportsman champ Mitch Leiden and Dave Trout and Scott Luck. Brandon Birdsell helped round out the top 5. Dave Trout with a 14.475. He breaks the Dells Raceway Park record again, as he
much
did
lower can that get?
many times last year. But Jason Stark, so Trout is a 14.475. Jason Stark is a 14.792, 0.03 of a second off.
Yeah, well, it's new. Right now they're on new tires. I don't know what the tire program is at the Dells, but you could tell, new tires are going to help you last on the outside a lot longer than La Crosse's tire rule, where you only get 1 new tire after the second week. So new tires will definitely allow you to run that outside groove a lot longer than you normally would.
Mitch Leiden won the Sportsman's Dash. Dave Borntrager won the Sportsman Heat. In the late models at Dells Raceway Park last week, it was defending 26 late model champion Nick Nolden, starting where he ended last year, capturing the win. When we come back, we had a chance to stop off and talk to a good friend of the program for a long time. He was on our radio show in a camper last year. He may be picking up some more ARCA rides than the 3 of Road America, Madison, and Elko that we've talked about in the past. Rick Tackman Jr. will join us next right here on Big Bore Presents 7 Rivers Racing.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue. Or you don't have to drive down to Des Moines to get great pulled pork too. If you want ribs, the best in town, pulled pork or chicken too. Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
In downtown La Crosse, there's only one place where you can find award-winning barbecue. Hi, this is Jerry Beyer from Big Boar Barbecue. The people from La Crosse have spoken and voted us the best barbecue and the best caterer in La Crosse County. Try it yourself and you'll agree. We've got the highest quality ribs, pulled pork, brisket, smoked chicken, and ham. Barbecue like nowhere else. Got a meeting or special event? We could cater it. Ask about our business delivery service. Big Boar Barbecue on 3rd Street downtown and Highway 16 West Salem.
Yeah.
Whatever your perfect temperature, you'll enjoy consistent comfort with the heating and air conditioning systems homeowners rank #1. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Save up to $1,000 on select American Standard home comfort systems. Call Carey Heating today or visit AmericanStandardAir.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Have you tried the Great Lunch Buffet at Pizza Hut? Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1:30, Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona offers you an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet for just $5.99. All the salad, pasta, breadsticks, and of course, delicious piping hot pizza you can eat. How about dinner? Don't get up, get online and get a large 2-topping pizza for just $7.99. It's the best pizza delivery deal at your La Crosse and Winona Pizza Hut. Call for delivery or order online. Pizza Hut.
Hey guys, welcome to JT's Long Shots in West Salem. I'm Trisha.
And I'm Jim.
Your new sports bar for watching all your favorite sports. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 7, with $1.75 domestics and rails. For lunch or dinner, the kitchen is open. Half-price burgers on Mondays. Tuesday, it's bone or boneless wings. Fish tacos on Friday. Stop after the races on Saturday nights for music.
Jim and I would love to see you at JT's Long Shots Sports Bar and Grill
See you after the races.
in downtown West Salem.
Welcome back, race fans. Big Boar Barbecue presents 7 Rivers Racing here in KQEG TV, along with my partner in crime, Billy Doc Niles. Paul Reichert still hanging out. Coming off a 7th-place finish at Madison International Speedway in the Mid-American Stock Car Series from last weekend. We want to welcome into the program a great friend of mine. The friendship just gets stronger and stronger every single year. He's not getting as tall as me, which is a good thing, but with the 10-gallon hat, he's got me topped. Let's say hi to Rick Tackman Jr. How are you, Rick?
Hey, how you doing, Dan? Bill, guys?
What's new, buddy? How's things going this year?
Another racing season, staying busy, like always.
Hey, first and foremost, for those that are not really familiar with Rick, if you're ever around Oktoberfest or any kind of a Mid-American race in the area, he's the tall guy with the glasses. He's got the handlebar mustache and the cowboy hat. So I pretty much think that you are in a zone all by yourself, my friend.
Pretty much. I'm kind of hard to lose in a crowd. All you got to do is look for the cowboy hat.
Well, first and foremost, Rick, you're coming off. I know this is not where you wanted to be at Madison because about 5 laps in, your number 74 took off, and you were passing people. You actually led that 30-lap race for quite a while. What happened with the car that was making it rumble and bumble down the front straightaway?
We ended up having a carburetor go sour. Don't know if we had a float that stuck on us or something got in and just plugged a port in the carburetor, but all of a sudden we just started to lose power and it started popping on us, and we just had to ride it out for the rest of the day.
As I tell you what, Billy Doc Niles, I mean, once he was about 3rd or 4th place for the first couple of laps. When Rick was finding doors open, man, he was just gone.
Yeah, is this a correctable problem, or is this something you really got to dig deep to find? Or
the carb went to our carb guy last night. My car owner, Russell Willingham, who's out of Indianapolis, took it over to our carb guy last night. As soon as he heard what happened, he says, "Get it over here. Let's open it up and see what the deal is." Put it on his flow bench. I haven't heard results yet as to if they found anything exactly, but to me it seemed like carburation. It wasn't an ignition issue. When I pulled into the pits, the carburetor, it was idling at 2,000 RPM, which is about 1,000 RPM higher than what it should be. So we definitely had an issue, but of course it didn't show up until we were leading the race.
Well, Rick, after the race was done, you and I had a chance to talk, and, man, I'll tell you what, it was funny. I think Rick was looking for me because I wasn't even standing behind his car for 2 seconds, and he was already giving me a high sign in his rearview mirror. You couldn't wait to hunt me down this week. Every time you've got big news, you like to break it on our program. So tell us what else you got going on this year, my friend.
Well, you caught me at a great time on Sunday. I received a phone call on Thursday night from Talladega Super Speedway from a car owner that I drove for at Madison last year for the ARCA race. And he gave me a call while it was raining down there, had a few minutes, and asked me, instead of just running Madison and Road America, which we'd already agreed upon last year, he said, can you be at Elko? He says, I need you June 3rd. So we've added another date to the ARCA deal right now, and looking forward to doing that.
That is awesome news, breaking news right here on our show. Now, are these, we've seen what happens when they bring in substitute drivers or fill-in drivers. Are you going to be a start and park, or are you going out to race and try and win?
No, this is not a start and park.
Nice.
This is a team.
That is good news.
Yeah, the only start and park I did was at Chicagoland last year when ARCA asked Andy Hillenberg Racing, Fast Track Racing team, to bring an extra car, and they had asked me to drive, and it gave me my speedway clearance. So that was a known start and park, fill the field, get some experience on the speedway. This deal with Wayne Hickson Motorsports out of Soddy Daisy, Tennessee, they called Wayne's deal is my cars run the whole race unless we have an issue. Nice. He says, I want to see the car cross at the checkered flag. And he goes, we don't have top equipment. We're not in a new composite car or new Ilmore engine, but we've got really good cars with fresh SB2 motors. And he feels we're capable of running in the top 10. We had a 7th or 8th place car at Madison last June, but we lost brakes about 30 laps into the race. We fought a brake and overheating issue early in the day.
Now, this is only 3 races. Could this lead to more, and how is this going to affect your Mid-Am schedule for the rest of the year?
Well, the Madison race is our only conflict right now. We are supposed to run the Mid-Am show in Cedar Rapids, Iowa that same night, June 23rd. So as of right now, the car owner has said, you know what, let's do the ARCA deal. He may end up being my car chief on that deal and work with the Hickson team, and my spotter from the Mid-Am car, who Phil has been with me for 7 or 8 years now. He has offered to spot for the ARCA races also.
Now, of course, to go to these races, you said it to me perfectly down in the pits. You just can't show up. You've got to bring something to the table, and we want to help you try to be able to do that with all the listeners we have. What is it going to take for you to run these 3 races and possibly more?
Well, that would be great if I could find some help. Right now, we're a low-budget team. My Mid-Am team and my car owner, Russell Willingham, we split a lot of things. He brings the car up. I do a lot of repairs. I put a front stub on the car this winter. So we split a lot of the cost to be able to afford to race. We're both hardworking 40, 50-hour-a-week guys in our regular life. So racing's a hobby. This ARCA deal, our licensing, just for the 4 people, the 4 of us to get in, myself, my girlfriend Andrea, Phil, and Russ, to be a part of the team, because Andrea's a part of the team, helps out on the pit box, doing times, fuel mileage, whatever we might need to do. So just our licensing through ARCA is going to cost us $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's before we even walk through the gate the first race.
Unreal.
Well, we're running out of time of the segment, though. But here's the thing, folks. Look up Rick Tackman on Facebook. It's Rick Tackman Jr. Or get a hold of me.
Yeah, get a hold of us if you want to help these guys out and get their racing career going. Get a hold of us. We'll get you in touch with them.
Rick's a great guy. Go ahead, Rick.
If we could find somebody to help us with our fuel cost, which is anywhere between $200 and $300 for these races. We got 200 laps at Elko, 200 at Madison, 25 laps at Road America. So that's a 100-mile race just at Road America. So somebody that's willing to chip in to buy fuel, which we have to buy at the track. But if we get somebody to buy fuel, maybe a set of tires would be absolutely great. We've got the hood, the quarter panels, the taillight panel. Almost everything's available on the car as of right now.
I tell you, I think that may be a good spot for a voice And the doc.
Well, and all these races are either on Fox Sports 1 or MAV TV.
Yeah,
they are televised races.
Doc doesn't need to be on MAV TV. He's a superstar as it is.
Yes, I am. Just ask me. I'll tell you.
That's right.
Rick Tackman Jr. Again, folks, if you want to help him out, you want to do it anonymously, you're a business, get a hold of him or get a hold of Paul or myself or Doc. We will guide you in the right direction because we want to see how far the Cowboy can go here in 2017. Rick, I wish we had more time, my friend.
We did, too.
Radio.
Look forward to seeing you guys at Elko June 3rd for the 200-lap race. I'll be in the number 3 Wayne Hickson Motorsports car.
You got that right, if you promise to come back on the show in a couple weeks.
Oh, definitely.
All righty, Rick Tackman Jr., the Cowboy, the number 74 Mid-Am car, number 3 at Elko, coming up here soon enough. We want to thank him graciously for joining us on the program. More is to come next. Big Boar Barbecue presents 7 Rivers Racing.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue. Or you don't have to drive down to Des Moines to get great pulled pork too. If you want ribs, the best in town, pulled pork or chicken too, just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
The people have spoken. Hi, this is Jerry Beyer from Big Boar Barbecue. Recently voted the best barbecue and best caterer in La Crosse County by popular vote. And no, this wasn't a rigged election. Try it yourself. Taste our delicious, tender, fall-off-the-bone ribs, pulled pork, brisket, smoked ham, or chicken. And you'll agree this is the best barbecue. You'll find us on 3rd Street downtown and on Highway 16 in West Salem. But our catering truck can come right to your door for any special occasion. Big Boar Barbecue. Now that's a mouthful.
Yeah!
Whatever your perfect temperature, you'll enjoy consistent comfort with the heating and air conditioning systems homeowners rank number 1. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Save up to $1,000 on select American Standard home comfort systems. Call Carey Heating today or visit AmericanStandardAir.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Have you tried the great lunch buffet at Pizza Hut? Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1:30, Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona offers you an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet for just $5.99. All the salad, pasta, breadsticks, and of course, delicious piping hot pizza you can eat. How about dinner? Don't get up, get online and get a large 2-topping pizza for just $7.99. It's the best pizza delivery deal at your La Crosse and Winona Pizza Hut. Call for delivery or order online. Pizza Hut.
Hey guys, welcome to JT's Long Shots in West Salem. I'm Trisha.
And I'm Jim.
Your new sports bar for watching all your favorite sports. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 7, with $1.75 domestics and rails. For lunch or dinner, the kitchen is open. Half-price burgers on Mondays. Tuesday, it's bone or boneless wings. Fish tacos on Friday. Stop after the races on Saturday nights for music.
Jim and I would love to see you at JT's Long Shots Sports Bar and Grill
See you after the races.
in downtown West Salem.
Welcome back, race fans. Big Boar Barbecue presents 7 Rivers Racing. I'm Dan Dynker, Radio Man Dan, with Billy Doc Niles and Paul Reichert. This weekend, finally, the weather forecast looks like it's going to be favorable. Street drags at Crosse Speedway on Friday night, and racing brought to you by Tri-State Ambulance on Saturday. I am ready.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We got our friends from the Twin Cities coming down for the 3rd annual Mayfest. That's going to be a blast.
What happened to the first one?
We must have missed that.
Because I got our shirts too, by the way.
Nice.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
And Jamie. They were presented to me at Thompson Smoker last weekend. Thanks for everybody that went to that as well. My shirt said 3rd annual Mayfest. Well, I don't know what happened to year number 1 because we weren't there. Last year there was like 5 of us. This year I think there's like 50 of us.
Last year there was about 5 campers, but half of them partied themselves out during the day. So we got a little thing going here. They can go party during the day, not so much, so we can have some fun after the races.
This weekend it's going to be late models, Sportsman, Thunderstocks, Hornets. and Outlaws to kick off the 2017 race season. And I tell you what, there is a lot of buzz, gentlemen, about the late model and sportsman count presumable this year at La Crosse.
If practice was any indication, there's definitely going to be some new faces you don't see every Saturday night at La Crosse. We saw at practice Jacob Gady running Matt's car. You heard, if you haven't heard, Matt got hurt over the winter in a bad snowmobile accident. Doing well. Hopefully he'll be back by the end of the season. We saw Ty Reedy practicing. We saw Mike Eady try to practice. Hopefully he'll be in one piece for Saturday night.
Nick Paninsky was down.
Nick Paninsky was down. We saw a couple of new faces of cars that are going to run every Saturday night for Rookie of the Year. This looks to be a stacked field this year. This is not going to be no cakewalk. Ty Majeski's going to pick his spots this year.
And he will be out Saturday night. He did confirm with us at Madison.
And I don't think this is going to be as easy as Steve Carlson's had it for the last few years. Granted, running second behind Ty Majeski is not easy, but let's face it, in the last 4 years, he's had his way with the late model division. Maybe not this year with the new faces showing up.
Justin Mulliken, Devin Schmidt, and
Jesse
Poxic. A lot of rookies of the year. Nick Clements will be back as well. Looking for a stacked late model field. The Minnesota Invasion could happen until the end of May because their track in Elko doesn't open up until the end of the month. Sportsman-wise, I think the numbers are going to be solid as ever, and the Minnesota Invasion, Paul Reichert, continues.
Oh, yeah. Of course, last year we saw Ian Oxborough, Devin Schmidt come down. Of course, Devin won the feature in July, August of last year. So great to have them come down. Like you said, like Bill said, with Elko not racing for a couple more weeks yet, should be a good show.
Thunderstock numbers presumably are going to be about the same as we saw last year. Hornets, I'd say that 30 to 40 car range. Street stocks is the one that I really can't wait to see what happens. Last year, I think we had 42 total street stocks registered that had raced at one point or another at La Crosse. We averaged about 25 a night. I would not be surprised if we, Doc Niles and Paul Reichert, had over 50 street stocks this year and maybe 15 to 20 minivans.
It wouldn't be shocking at all. The minivans were growing by the end of the year last year. The street stock class
had a feature of 11 last year.
That was awesome. Yes, minivans. I love it. It's probably the only thing I like at street drags is minivans. But the numbers for the street stock class, now it's the affordable class. It's the affordable startup class, and I think the numbers bear that out. 30 to 40 last year, hopefully more. I mean, it's phenomenal. And of course, Outlaws, I want to see what happens with them. Outlaws has been one of my favorites for years because it's basically a run what you brung class. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these starter divisions can bring this year.
And of course, the street stocks, I know several drivers and driving teams that have 4 or 5 under their own team flag, and I've seen a lot of pictures of vinyl coming out, so I wouldn't just see a Pontiac Grand Prix coming from the junkyard with a number, whatever it is, on the side of the car and the actual car color. Exactly. I mean, you're going to see these guys are really, they're owning the class. They're taking care of the class, and their numbers are outstanding. And I think we are going to see an influx of street stocks and Hornets this year. I can't wait to see the Moore brothers put one of their cars together again. I think it's Adams, the number 29.
That was a beautiful-looking car.
When was the last time you saw his car? Because his have looked bad since I've been at the track. When was the last time you saw it looking nice?
I don't ever remember a Moore car being brand new like this. Yeah. So this will be impressive to see.
Qualifying at 6:15 and racing getting away at 7:30. Brought to you by Tri-State Ambulance. And, of course, if you want ticket prices and all that good information, go to CrosseSpeedway.com.
And if you're watching us Sunday night, it's on right after we're over here.
It is. Nights of Thunder is going to be on right after this program is done on Sundays. Of course, we tape a little bit earlier. That's going to do it for the program. I want to thank Madison International Speedway. Thank the gracious host for Paul and I that went down. Angie McCarnes. That pound-and-a-half pretzel was simply on. Mason had the cheesy bacon bites, but he had them gone before I could get there. But there was only, like a kid's size.
And I had them too.
It was the pound-and-a-half pretzel.
Not even an appetizer.
It was like this. It was that big. And I struggled in turn 4, but I got it down.
A gallon of cheese to put it down, right?
And some mustard, and I did have a napkin. I want to thank Rick Tackman for joining us in the program. Kudos and congratulations picking up some ARCA rides this year. He's looking for some sponsors to help him out with that tire program, so make sure you find him on Facebook. For Billy Doc Niles and Paul Reichert, I'm Dan Dyke. I want to thank you for joining us. Knights of Thunder is coming up to start off as the Crosse Speedway finally gets underway. That's going to be coming up here in KQEG TV as well.
You've been watching the Big Boar Barbecue presentation of Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV. Seven Rivers Racing is brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue on Highway 16 West Salem and downtown La Crosse. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists on La Crosse's north side. By JT's Long Shots Bar and Grill in historic downtown West Salem. By Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona. Pizza Hut. Join us next week at this same time for Doc and Dan and Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.